Hey guys, Crazy Postman here. Well, I found an interesting one on Kickstarter and I thought I would make a video over it. Now, before anything even gets started, hush. Now, before anything even gets started, I don't think anybody should back a Kickstarter because there has been quite a few Kickstarters, even in just the robot lawnmower space, that have failed recently. So I don't want anybody to lose money. There was another one that failed that I even talked about. If you remember the Oasa R1, it was a real mower, robotic lawnmower, and they got tons of backing. 1,790 backers pledging over $2 million. And guess what? Poof. The company's gone. It's not going to happen. You can just see all the comments of people wanting their money back. And unfortunately, it's Kickstarter. So you can't really get your money back because you're basically just gifting your money to these people for the hope of them to send you something. It's just really sad that these people have likely lost their money. You can't even go to the official website. It doesn't even exist anymore. So while I'm telling you about this robot lawnmower on Kickstarter, keep this in mind. You can lose your money. So keeping all that in mind, we are now going to go over this Apollo AI powered robot here. Now you can see so far today, and I think this just launched today. I was in the email group and I saw an email that it launched. So I think it launched today. There has been 32 people that's backed it, and they've already raised $106,000. Now the goal was really small. I think these companies do that on purpose so they can be easily successful, but I don't know. So let's go ahead and check this thing out, and I'll tell you what I personally think about it. So here we go. Apollo Turfstorm, the AI-powered all-wheel drive yard robot. And you can see here, it is quite a large machine. It seems like they are going after the Yarbo because it does many of the things the Yarbo does. We got a snowblower, we got a leaf attachment, we have capabilities to put a box on it and move things around, and of course you got the lawnmower attachment. So here it's talking about the mower abilities. It can go up a 45-degree, 100% slope, easily cover 10,000 square meters, which is around 107,000 square feet, built-in RTK antennas. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to use a base station, reference station, or if this is going to use net RTK, but it does main the RTK navigation. It also has other sensors like AI vision, but the main navigation is going to be the RTK. It says it's 4-wheel drive, a 6-hour runtime, has the AI vision system with obstacle avoidance and a real-time monitoring. I don't want to play the audio from this because I might get a copyright, but you can see here they are driving it around manually, it looks like, testing these things. Some of these images almost look AI as well. I'm not quite convinced that all those were non-AI images.
Let's check the machine. In the front part you can find the module interface, camera and obstacle avoidance sensor. Both sides has obstacle avoidance sensor, and under the machine you can see the mowing deck lift. On the back side you can find the rear lights, display battery level, module and the power button. On the top, control system cabin, built-in RTK base station and battery compartment.
Built-in RTK base station? That's kind of weird.
Easy to adjust the cutting height. The mowing deck features one touch height.
It does have a neat controller. I'll give it that.
The cutting height can be quickly set between 10 to 110 millimeters, easily accommodating different grass types and mowing conditions, eliminating the need for manual adjustment. And with different height adjustment, you can make some shapes like the one we can see here.
I don't think we're going to go through all this, but you can see right there, let's pause that. You can see how their blade design is. That is an interesting blade design that will lead to a much wider cutting path. Let's see what else we got going on here. Okay, so its four-wheel drive is pretty strong. They show it climbing up out of some... They show it driving through some sticky situations, and it's not getting stuck, so that's good. There is one thing I'm kind of worried about. These wheels are solid. Like, this front wheel doesn't turn, so it's kind of like the original Luba 1, where it has to reverse the wheel directions to go make its tank turn. You can see a little Luba donut right there, where it stops and does a little twisty loo for no reason. We've had Luba donuts since the beginning, and it is still doing Luba donuts. With this thing weighing 160 something plus pounds, it's going to be destroying some lawns. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do about this, because with this thing turning on soft, lush grass, weighing as much as it does, doing a tank turn, it's definitely going to be destroying some lawns. So here they're just showing the attachment of the little box you can put on top of it and carry stuff around. They show it plowing through some vegetation here. Oh, they didn't show that very long. You can also pull a little trailer. So that's full cargo mode right there. Look how big it is. When it starts moving, you can really see how wide and large this thing actually is. I don't know what to say about their leaf catcher design. I guess, I mean, what should it look like? It looks weird because it's all metal. You would think that back piece would be like a netting or something lighter, but it's not. It looks to be all metal. So it does dump the same way Yucca does, it seems. And I highly doubt this is autonomous movement here. This is remote controlled. So watch it go through this stream. Okay, so it has good four-wheel drive. That is a pretty interesting remote control. But again, you know, remote control is not going to be my main form of navigation here. This is going to be mostly autonomous for me if I get it. I mean, while the control is very cool, I mean, that's not the selling point for me. It does have a battery that you can pull out. It said it was 2,880 watt hours, I think. Stays charged for 6 hours. That is a large battery. You can buy this optional attachment, and you can use it as a remote power supply, I guess. Now look at this. It does have inductive charging, but again, right here at the charging base, you got these big tires that are going to continuously be driving in the same spot. I just foresee a problem on lawns. I mean, if it parks on cement, it might not be a problem. Just look how big this thing is. That is a behemoth. It's meant to eat some acreage. Now, if you remember up here, keep this number in mind. 10,000 square meters is what they say its lawn coverage is, because there's a different number further on down the list here. So they're saying you can use it in all the seasons: summer mowing, autumn with the leaf catcher, and winter with the snow blower. Swap the attachments. Very Yarbo-like. Now this number, 65 feet of cleaning, I think that means it will throw the snow 65 feet away. 20 feet high and 65 feet away. I don't live in a cold climate, so I'm not really familiar with the snow throwing numbers. Forget flimsy trimmers or weak robots. Apollo uses industrial grade steel blades powered by the dual high-speed mowers. Cuts thick, tall, and even wet grass effortlessly. Handles small bushes up to 20 millimeters in diameter. 800 millimeters cutting width, so that's 31 inches of cutting width. That thing is wide. With all-wheel drive for up to 10,000 square meters, 107,000 square feet. Adjust the mowing height from 10 to 110 millimeters, 0.4 inches to 4.3 inches. Safe and easy blade system. Apollo's mowing deck is designed for both safety and convenience. The blade can be removed on the spot without special tools. That is nice, because having to change out the razor blades on the Luba all the time can get to be a pain in the butt, especially when the screws start stripping out or they get buildup in them and you can't get the thing in there to get it out. So if you can take it off without special tools, that's pretty cool. A built-in safety lock ensures the system powers down before any maintenance. Even if you leave the deck in place, Apollo seamlessly works through the other modules. Interesting. So it seems like you can remove the deck. You don't have to leave it attached. Autumn leaves make yards messy and slippery. Collects them directly. Vacuum plus blower dual mode. That's weird. I wonder how it has a blower. Is it just talking about the air it makes by the thing spinning in there? Designed to do it all. Forget boundary wires. With RTK satellite positioning and AI vision, Apollo delivers 1 centimeter level accuracy, automatically mapping work zones and avoiding obstacles. It says when it loses GPS under trees, it continues working. It still hasn't mentioned a base station for the RTK. That's what I'm kind of most curious about, because it doesn't mention it. If you understand how RTK works, you have to have a reference location. That's the whole point of RTK. The robot or the rover's GPS gets compared to the reference station GPS, and it triangulates a perfect position. So you need the reference location for RTK to work. Now, it can use a remote reference station as long as it's within so many miles. I think it has to be kind of a regional type thing. I don't think you can use a reference station in Europe for the United States. I think it has to be kind of close to your location, but it can be transmitted through the internet. Dual motor cutting power. So it shows it here blowing through some bushes and shrubs and just decimating them with ease. One touch adjustable deck from 10 millimeters to 110 millimeters. And here's the Freedom units. Perfect for lawns, orchard, and wild terrains. Real-time vision and safety. HD AI camera streams live video. Apollo detects pets, people, and wildlife, stopping the blades instantly for safety. In some of the videos I watched, when they shut off the blades, it does not quite sound like they stop instantly. It sounds like they kind of wind down for a second or two. So I don't know how instant the blades stop. I mean, they did stop pretty quick, but it didn't sound instant to me when I watched the videos. All-wheel drive performance. Independent four-wheel drive motors plus zero-turn steering. Says you can handle 45 degrees, 100% slopes, mud, hills, and icy ground with stability. I have no doubt that it's going to be a beast. I'm a bit worried about the grass because it is a beast. It weighs a lot and it uses a zero turn. All season durability. It's IP56 rated. Keep Apollo running in the rain, snow, dust. Rugged enough for extreme weather. Hot swappable 2880 watt hour battery. Now, when you say hot swappable, to me, that means when you pull it out, the machine will stay powered up until you put the new one in. I don't know that that's the case. we'll have to wait and see on that. I'm not sure the term hot swappable translated well. It is certainly swappable. We saw the lady in the presentation video pull it out pretty quick. So we'll have to see how that goes. Up to 6 hours of runtime, swap in seconds for nonstop work, or use it as a portable power station. We saw them quickly show that in the video as well. It had a wireless charging thing for your phone and some plug outlets you could use. Auto recharging and wireless charging. Now, as far as I understand, the wireless charging part is an optional accessory. That's the way it seemed in the listing. So we'll have to look closer at that and make sure. But that's how it works. You just drive over it and it will charge. Traction and towing power. The full-time all-wheel drive system uses high torque motors and off-road tires with a low center of gravity chassis. Give Apollo exceptional traction and towing capability, even on rough or uneven terrain. So here is the cutting deck. You got the blades on 2 discs. It discharges to one side. There's the snow blower module. The leaf collection module. It just has a rotating brush in there. I'm not sure what it meant by blower. I think it just has a brush that flings the grass and leaves back into the catching bin. So it has, looks like it has the battery compartment, 2 RTK positioning antennas, ultrasonic radar, lights, module ports, dual cameras. There's a cooling vent on the side. On the back, there's a power switch, lights, and a battery indicator. Mowing module, 31.5 inches. It can work about 3,500 square meters an hour, 0.86 acres per hour. And I would imagine that's under very little load in the highest speed. Adjustable cutting deck, 4 ultrasonic sensors, and the AI vision camera. RTK plus AI vision plus IMU plus odometer. So that's pretty standard stuff right there for the recent robot lawnmowers. Working environment, -13 to +113. Can cut up to 2 inches of soft stemmed plants. Operating environment, yard, orchard, park, dense weeds, field. 2 brushless motors for the cutting deck. See, recommended cutting area. See, here's where the number doesn't line up. Earlier it said 10,000 square meters. Now here it's saying 24,000 square meters, which is 6 acres. So I'm not quite sure why the difference between this number here and the other number, because this one says recommended cutting area 6 acres. Vertical obstacle crossing height 7 inches. Now I did watch this thing climb up some stairs. That was pretty impressive. Lithium battery, hot swappable design, quick battery replacement. Again, I question the word hot swappable. I mean, swappable, no doubt. Hot swappable means you can pull it out, the unit stays powered up, and you can put the new one in. So we'll have to see about hot swappable, but definitely swappable. So it has a 48 volt, 60 amp hour battery, 32 by 35 by 17 inches. This thing is quite large. It doesn't mention the weight here, but I'm pretty sure in another location I saw that it weighed 160 something pounds. Now for the snow module, I'm just going to kind of cruise through these because I'm not that interested in this. But if you are, you can pause and read some of these numbers. Whoop. See, it brings up 6 acres again. Leaf collection module. It brings up 3,000 square meters an hour again. Suction type. I don't know. I think it just has a rotating brush. 6 acres. We're talking about the leaf attachment now. For some reason, it brings back the snow again. Wireless charging dock, 48 volts, 91% efficiency. That is very efficient. So here's the power accessory that you can put on the robot to make it a roving generator. They call it the charging substation, but really it's like a generator. You can plug into the main battery and it gives you power sockets, wireless charging, USB plugs, stuff like that. So you can use the cool looking remote control, drive it out to your campsite, and it can power your campsite. That's kind of cool. I don't know that I would pay for that because I mean, they make power banks that's much lighter and cheaper than this, but it's still cool. I mean, I'm glad it's an option. Somebody might want to do that. Now we're going to start comparing this mower to the obvious Yarbo over there. Not sure what this guy is over here. I know what this is. That's that remote controlled one. What's it called? The Mower. Yeah, what's this thing called? That's what that one is. Yeah. Okay, so now you know what this other one is over there. It's all remote controlled though. It's not autonomous like the Yarbo and the Apollo Turfstorm. Leaf collection. I have no idea what these other brands are here they're comparing to. Battery module, that's obviously a Yarbo pack. This is the Apollo pack. It is a pretty large pack. For being the size it is, I wished it was an LFP pack. Surely they would have put it on there if it was LFP. So here's what you get for $2,499. So you can see the MSRP is going to be $5,000. If this delivers, I think the $2,499 is a great price for this thing. And I've really been contemplating doing it, but I just cannot trust Kickstarter because of all the failed projects. And I definitely don't want to suggest that any of my viewers trust it. I mean, if you have throwaway money and it won't really affect your life any, then go ahead and do it. I think $2,499, if you get what is pictured here, is a good deal. I don't think I'm going to do it, but I want to. If $2,500 didn't mean so much to me, I would definitely do it. So with the mowing kit, it comes with the main unit, the mower module, a standard charger. See, here's the charger. You don't get the wireless charger. That's an optional accessory. So there's a standard charger. And then for options, you have a wireless option or a fast charger. There's another fast charger option as well. So it comes with the battery, the turf tires, 4 blades, user manual, and the FPV remote control. I get it. If you're using this thing as it's meant to be used, you know, with the snow blower, you might want to do that manually. If you're going to be pulling carts around the yard, you'll want to be doing that manually. But the way I would use it is just for a mower to mow the large acreage at my parents' house. That's 3 acres. And I would never need the controller. I mean, it is a cool option though. For $2,899, you can get the snow kit. For $35.99, you get the snow kit and the mower module and the leaf collection module. For $32.99, it looks like you can get just the mower and the blower. $3,099, you get the mower and the leaf collector. And here is your optional accessories. a towing trailer, an extra battery, $1,299. Woo-wee. Collision detection bumper. Why doesn't it come with that to start with? And look how expensive these blades are. $159 for a new set of blades. Whew. Now, ultra fast charger, I can see why somebody would want to pay the money for this. If they're mowing a lot of acreage and you don't want to spend the money on that extra battery, getting a faster charger might be useful. Depends on how much faster it charges over the standard one. Here's your wireless charging dock accessory. So if you want to wirelessly charge your robot, $359. That's reasonable. $189 for this box. That's a hard pass. You can build that yourself or just get the trailer. Extra tires, $259. Tow hook, $49. Power switch in the back. Your 2 RTK antennas. So it looks like we're in remote mode here. Going all the way down. Going all the way up. That goes pretty quick. If she does a tank turn, let's see if it does any damage to the grass. Like I said, this thing is heavy. That is the only thing I'm worried about. I kind of wish the front tires turned, like most of the new models coming out this year are having turning front tires, like the pivot. Okay, so it can drive around. It's going to do a turn. Watch the grass. I don't know, guys. Just one time. Just turning one time. Imagine it turning in that spot every time. The cutting blades sound nice and powerful. I'd like to know the wattage output on the cutting motors. Yeah, I don't know about that zero turn. See, we learned this from Luba 1, that that's not a good idea to have 4 solid tires. Momotion quickly pivoted and put the Omni front tires on, which even with Omni tires on, it can still do a little bit of damage. I think, did you hear how long that took those blades to stop? Hang on. Yeah, that's not instant. They're still going. All right, let's move down to the next video here. So here's the snowblower in action. Uh-oh, whoa. So here's the snowblower in action. There's music on this, so I can't have it playing. Looks like a snowblower. Doesn't move very quick when it's doing that, but that might be their strategy. Here's the video of it going up the stairs. I'm not sure how useful this is, but it is cool to see that it can do it, knowing how heavy it is. It's just tackling these stairs one at a time. Not bad. Yeah, I don't know. Why would somebody be mowing in their garden? You wouldn't mow these soft vegetable plants. I have no idea what kind of plant this is. Looks like a zucchini bush or something. But why would you be mowing this? It looks like it's gone rogue and it's just going through somebody's garden, and they're going to be really mad here in a minute when they see what it did. But yeah, it's taken out these soft plants pretty easily. So that's cool. Handles 100% slope. Let's check this out. Well, they cut it. I wonder if it bogged down. Why would they cut the video? Look, they cut it again. I wonder if the blades are stopping. I mean, this is obviously really thick. There's some questionable cuts in that video, but it did a decent job mowing and driving up that hill. The blades may have gotten overloaded a few times, but that would be understandable as long as it restarts automatically if it's doing it autonomously. I don't really see a huge problem with that. They got this poor guy working in a furnace. Man, I hope he's do they have OSHA in China? I'm not sure if they have OSHA in China. Here is the snow blower. That's the body. There's their timeline. So you can see at one point there was a tracked version of this. Meet the team behind Apollo. There's Alan, Michael, Linda. That must have been our lady in the camera shots. I want to back this, but it's on Kickstarter, so and really, to be honest, the only thing I don't like about this is, one, that it's on Kickstarter, so that's almost a non-starter. And the second thing that I really don't like is the solid wheels. I wished they went with a turning front wheel design like all the new mowers are coming out with for their four-wheel drive models this next spring. I know I've said this many times, but we've learned with Luba 1 that solid front wheels and tank turns destroy lawns. So that's a design flaw I see in this as a mower. Now, it may be better to do it this way as a snowblower, but as a lawnmower, I don't know. I think it's going to destroy the lawn. Does the Apollo have anti-theft protection? It has built-in GPS tracking, plus it weighs 187 pounds. So that is basically your built-in anti-theft right there, because nobody can pick it up and walk off with it. It says, even when unplugged, a backup battery keeps GPS tracking for an extended period of time. So maybe this thing is hot swappable after all. It must have a secondary internal battery. That must keep the computer running when you pull the main battery out. So maybe they actually do mean hot swappable. Maybe I need to apologize. They knew what they were talking about. Well, folks, there you have it. That is the Apollo Turfstorm robotic lawnmower. And it can be yours for the low price of $24.99. And you may or may not receive anything. Estimated delivery April of 2026. We may see it in 2026, but man, spring of 2026, these things almost always get pushed back. And sometimes, unfortunately, they die. Well, guys, there it is. The Apollo Turfstorm, the AI-powered all-wheel drive yard robot. Please spend your money wisely. See y'all in the next one.